right, y'all. Let's do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your absolutely favorite podcast. Riffin with Riffin, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Riffin with Riffin. Riffin with Riffin. Riffin with Riffin, yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is Riffin with Riffin, yeah. What's up, y'all? Riffin with Griffin. Back at it again. And you know what this episode gonna be about. The pursuit of slappiness. The men that slap. The Jada Smith defender. We're gonna be all in that, and that's all I'm gonna talk about today. The Oscars, what happened, just my thoughts, my analysis, maybe some questions from the chat, but welcome to Riffin with Griffin. All right, y'all. Turn this mic down. All right, anyways. Welcome to Riffin with Griffin. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for being here, but before we begin, we should take care of some business first. Let's pay the bills. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you want to eat tonight? Maybe you want a home-cooked favorite, but don't like going to the store. Doordash connects you with everything you want, whenever and however you want it. Get 25% off and zero delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more when you download the Doordash app and enter code Griffin. Also, Coinbase. Thank you for being a sponsor. Coinbase. For a limited time, new users can get $10 in free Bitcoin when you sign up today at coinbase.com/RiffinGriffin. Sign up at coinbase.com/RiffinGriffin for $10 in free Bitcoin. Welcome to the show, everybody. I don't know. It's just we're live. You know, I like doing it live, so thank you for being here. You know what I'm gonna talk about today, so I'm not even going we're not even gonna sugarcoat nothing, and we're gonna just we're gonna get into everything that happened on Sunday at the Oscars, my thoughts on the whole thing, and just about comedy, about the Oscars, about Will Smith, about what I think about comedy, and it's just. This has just been on my mind. I've been hot and heavy about it. I'm more calm about it now. And then, also I don't want to be super crazy when I'm live and say something off the cuff. You know what I mean? And we just, we'll see how this goes. All right. So, first of all, once again, thank you for being here. Thanks for being here. Chat live. Remember, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Subscribe, share, hit the notifications, and I'm here every week, so check me out there. I'm also on Twitch, guys. I Twitch live at Erik Griffin Gaming. I play Call of Duty a lot. I've been playing some Elden Ring, and I'm a dabble back into Destiny, so if you like watching me video game, check me out there at twitch.com. Twitch.tv/Erik Griffin Gaming. So I'm there all the time. And I also put my videos up on YouTube at Erik Griffin Gaming too. So make sure you check that out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. I thought before I start talking about what happened, the infamous slap heard around the world, let me just talk a little bit about the Oscars. The Oscars. What does it mean to watch the Oscars? What does it mean to any of us, really? Back in the day when I was a kid, watching the Oscars was like this big event, and they were getting huge numbers, like Super Bowl numbers back in the day. But, there was only like 3 networks. So that was the biggest thing on TV, and that's what you would watch. And so it became like this big event that everybody would watch. You look forward to it. I think the movies were better. I think there wasn't this, need to make movies about tragedy all the time, where every movie has to be a tragedy. Every movie has to, be about somebody overcoming something. Sometimes they just made good movies. It could be a mobster movie. It could be a comedy. It could be a great love story. It could be something about loss. But it was like great performances from great actors, great filmmakers, lighting, sound, costume. It was this sort of glamorous event that you look forward to seeing because, one, there wasn't as much accessibility to stars as there are now. But when I was a kid, you couldn't, the only time you would see, let's use Will Smith. If to see someone like Will Smith when I was a kid, you'd have to look in magazines. There was no internet, all right? So there's no internet. There's no cell phones. It's just you would look on TV, you would look in magazines if you got them, you'd look in the paper, and that's how you saw celebrities. It was the only way to see them would be on TV. And when you saw celebrities on TV, you were just seeing them in the thing that they were doing, the character they were playing, their TV show, or occasionally they would be some a sort of Entertainment Tonight type of show that you'd be like, ooh, you get the gossip, or this person was spotted at so-and-so. So it became like a thing. It was like an event that you would watch to see the people that, and then the Oscars was also, it was a great entertainment show. Billy Crystal used to do a great job. He would do a big musical number about the movies that were coming out, and he would poke fun at people in like a sort of like vanilla sort of way, and it would be a great show to watch. Everybody was involved, and it was like this. It is it's a TV show. The Oscars is a TV show. It is a TV show for entertainment purposes too, not only just the idea of giving out awards. And so we would watch that. And then over the years, and by the way, too, I think it was easier for people to consume, for the masses, especially the majority, if you were white. I'm just saying. I mean, it is. I'm not trying to make this about race, but I'm just saying it's just easier when we weren't dealing with any social issues. It was just the Oscars. It didn't matter. If everybody was white, everybody was white. Nobody cared. Nobody thought about it. Nobody talked about it. 80s, 90s, it wasn't a deal. On TV, this wasn't a thing that people were talking about all the time, social justice and all this stuff. And so, maybe you're at home as a minority like myself, and you're sitting at home and you're not even thinking about it. Like, I don't see a lot of people of color here. You weren't necessarily thinking about it, but, and then it became a thing where, over the years, this is something that became a thing. I remember when Whoopi Goldberg was up for Ghost. It was the first time I started to think about it, too, where I was like, oh, yeah, hold up a second. Who's winning these awards? Like, you start seeing movies and you go, when I started really going to the movies, I was like, yeah, I see a lot of people of color, but Oscars come around, you don't see that. So this started to become a thing. So now it's like, that's a factor that, to me, affected the Oscars. Now cut to the internet, cell phones. Listen. It's different now. When you watch the Oscars now, what are you watching it for? Because I don't need to watch it to see my favorite celebrity. I can see my favorite celebrity right here on this cell phone. I can see him right here. If I want to see, if I want to see Will Smith, I can go right to Will Smith's Instagram, where he's got millions of followers, and he puts up content all the time at his house with his kids, with his wife. He's making jokes all the time. He's like doing funny skits. I have more access to Will Smith on my phone than I do when I watch this show. So there's no wow value to it anymore. There's no like, ooh, look at that guy. Dude, I want to see what that guy's got going on. It's just, there's nothing. Who cares? Right? So now, and then on top of that, the award show itself has turned into, it's turned into like this virtue signaling, sort of like preaching to the choir echo chamber of liberal politics all the time. in the past 5 to 10 years, it's become that too. And I've talked about this before. It's like, 60, 70 million people are, voted for Trump, okay? People voted for Bush. People vote, there are Republicans, there are conservatives out there who also like movies. And so they want to see their stars too. But they turn on this television show and all they're being told is that they're wrong. You're wrong. Your ideas are wrong. Your ideals are wrong. That everything about you is wrong from these celebrities, these rich celebrities who are talking down to you at home. So you're at home in middle America, you're just, you know what I mean? You probably don't even know a black person in your town. If you're like in some white area, you don't hate black people, you're just not around them, right? And you got to turn on the TV and you got to see people telling you about stuff that you're like, well, can I just watch a show without it being about this? So that took away from the Oscars too, in my opinion. So you have so many people just being like, nah, don't want to watch that. I'll just find out in the morning on the internet who won or who didn't win. And then you go, I don't even want to watch these movies anyway. The movie that won Best Picture it's not even a movie that you watch in the movie theater. I think it was in the movie theaters, but it's an Apple TV movie. Okay, so you're talking about what we consider a movie-going experience is not even being celebrated at the Oscars anymore anyway. They're trying to move away from that anyway. So, so now this what is the show? This is my point I'm trying to make here is what's the show? What's the point of the Oscars, okay? What's the point of you watching? Have you ever asked yourself, like, why do I want to watch this? Well, for a long time, it became about watching the best comedian in the world is going to be the host. Or the most popular comedian, the most groundbreaking comedian. That was like a prestigious thing. You had the actors getting the awards. You could see the outfits, the dresses, the suits, the glitz and the glamour. And then you got to see this comedian that maybe you never went out to the clubs. See this person, this figure that you know about it, whether it be Eddie Murphy or whoever it is. You would watch this person, and that became part of the thing. And then somewhere along the way, the Oscars got super boring. Super boring, guys. And I'm going to tell you, and I really think the reason why the Oscars got boring is because, like I said, who cares? We can see these people on the internet, so we're not wowed by that anymore. We're not wowed by the movies. Man, go Google the movies that have won in the last 10 years and see how much money these movies have made. And that is important because that's a sign of who's going to watch these movies. It's like, it's ridiculous compared to like, hey, a blockbuster movie that is entertaining to people. And yes, there are artsy-fartsy types out there who are like, well, I want to watch a movie. I want to watch a movie for the artistic value of it. And I'm like that too sometimes. I get that. And so this is supposed to be, the Oscars is a celebration of artists, right? Here's my point. Does that need to be televised? Does the Oscars need to be on TV? Like on CBS, ABC, on a major network? No, man. You know what the Oscars is now? The Oscars is like a graduation at a prestigious college, like Harvard or Columbia, right? It's pretty prestigious. They might even have Barack Obama as the keynote speaker, or Elon Musk, or someone like someone super high, influential, super successful and rich. That shit ain't on TV because we don't care. But they care. Their families care. Those people care. These people are going to be tastemakers, and they're going to be the leaders of tomorrow at schools like that. But does it need to be on TV? No. Because the rest of us are looking at this like, okay, they just sucking themselves off. And it's fine. It's fine. Like, the Oscars is just for these people to celebrate themselves, and we don't care anymore. Can we just say that? We don't care anymore. If I was up for an Oscar, I would be so excited to be there, but I'm telling you, who cares who's watching? The Oscars should be on C-SPAN. Do you know how much important shit goes on C-SPAN? Y'all need to go to C-SPAN one time and see, like, there'll be some congressional vote or some hearing going on that will affect all of our lives. And no one's watching it. But it's on TV. But it's important stuff going on. That's what the Oscars are now. The Oscars should be on Entertainment Network. It should be on Bravo or something, because it's all about the dresses and who's wearing what and what's happening. And then the people that are into that kind of stuff, they have their little network they can watch it on, and we don't got to worry about it anymore. We don't have to because it's like we're at a point of like, who cares? The Oscars ratings, Google it. Google the Oscars ratings. Last year, it was at an all-time low. Every single year that moves forward, we don't care. Okay? I know COVID has to do with some of that, but it's trending in the wrong direction for the last 10 years. It's not the spectacle that it once was, and they keep trying to make it that. Now, here's the thing. You have these comedians. There was a time when Chris Rock, he hosted, I believe it was the MTV Music Awards or Movie Awards, whichever one it was, and he was going in on people. And it was like, that became the thing, like roasting celebrities. Why do we roast celebrities, by the way, at things like this? I personally believe it's because we want to humanize them. They're sitting there like princes and kings and duchesses and dukes of, like they're better than everybody. And the comedian is there to remind them, yo, you just an actor, homie. You just an actor. And the people at home want to laugh and, whatever, okay? Now, I can fully acknowledge maybe you like a big-time actor, you're about to receive this award, you like, yo, do you got to give me shit? Why are you talking shit about me? Can I just sit here and get my award and hear speeches and documentary stuff and a little skits in between and watch the host, have a little fun with things? But do you have to shit on me? I totally get that feeling. I respect that feeling. If I was graduating, I wouldn't want the valedictorian speech to be like, oh, man, look at Erik. Barely passed his classes, y'all, but good job. Give him his diploma. Like, that would be messed up. You with your family and friends are here with you. They got the air horns. They all like, pow, 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 pow. And you getting clowned at your graduation? Totally would be like, I get that energy of being like, yo, man, can you just give me my award? I don't want this nonsense going on, while I'm getting my award. I totally get that. I get it. Okay? And so now you got this situation where, then you got like Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes, who was going in like really mean-spirited type of stuff, drinking, he had this like drink and he was just going in on people to the point where these celebrities would, I remember, if you should Google Bruce Willis, Ricky Gervais. Bruce Willis comes out after Ricky Gervais calls him Ashton Kutcher's dad. And Bruce Willis is like, oh, man, he looks over at him like, like, I want to beat this dude's ass. You know what I mean? He was going in. Ricky Gervais called the Sex and the City's ladies old. He was going in on them, airbrushing the pictures. We know how old you are. I mean, it was just nonstop, just tearing people down for 4 years, right? And then the award shows just like, that's it now. It's turned into that. Listen, I don't necessarily think that that's the kind of comedy that you want to have. That's not the Oscars and the award shows of old. It's not prestigious anymore, and we have turned it into a roast. And, I don't necessarily like that either. Like, I want the comic to be up there, be funny, poke fun at people in a way that they don't feel bad. But it don't even matter because the people are sensitive anyway. They don't want the comedian to say anything. They just don't. But here's the thing. What is the point of watching Oscars? At least when you watch the Grammys, there's songs. People are singing. So you can see like, oh, that's my favorite artist. They're going to do their song. And they got the stage set up. There's pyrotechnics and dancers. And you're like, wow, this is great. I can actually remember great Grammy moments. I remember Prince doing Purple Rain on the Grammys, and it was like, wow. You know what I mean? I can remember Grammy moments. I remember Michael Jackson winning all those awards. I remember, I can just think back to times in the Grammys because it sat with me more because I remember those songs. I remember the performances. The Oscars, man, I couldn't tell you who won Best Picture last year, homie. I don't even know who won last year. I don't know. I couldn't tell you best screenplay from last year. Nobody cares about this stuff. So what's the point of watching the Oscars? It's the comedian. You're watching for like this, and that's why they should have had. You're supposed to have someone like Kevin Hart. You're supposed to have someone like whoever the biggest comic in the world is at the time. That's the person you want on the Oscars because that's bringing the casual viewer to be like, oh, let's see what's going on here. That's gone. It's completely gone. Now we live in this sort of woke environment of like where all the movies have to be tragedies and you have to be making a point in the movie to even be nominated now, or it's got to be some white guilt movie. You know, once again, we got to show white people how terrible they were 1,000 years ago. Or, well, let's be real. It could be 50 years ago. Y'all were terrible. But still, the point is, where's the entertainment value in any of that, man? Where? Where is it? Okay? So now cut to this year. And let's get to it. Okay? Cut to this year. And this is what we all want to talk about. Slapgate. Pursuit of slappiness. Here comes Midnight Slaps. The Jada Smith Defender. I don't know. Here we are, dude. I have so many feelings about what happened in this shit. But, oh, man, I don't know if I have the sound for you guys to hear it. Damn it. I don't know if oh, man, I wonder if I can get this in right now. If I can get this in right now, baby. Ooh, 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 ooh. You know, yeah, I do want to put this in so you guys can freaking hear this. I just don't know if I don't know if you're gonna hear it or not. But anyways, let me just play this if I can. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it or not.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Okay. That's the joke. I thought at first that this was some written thing, but I actually think that Chris Rock just off the cuff, he sees her bald head and it's just like makes a quick G.I. Jane reference. As I look at it now, to me, harmless. Let's go back again. Wait, let's go here.
All right? Can't wait to see it. All right? G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
So you're telling me, like I've been listening to people talk about this. I've been listening to people talk about, oh, this was so vile. What? The dude looks over. He's poking fun at Will Smith. He sees the wife. He just makes an offhanded comment like, oh, she's bald. G.I. Jane, can't wait to see it. It's nothing. It's not personal. It's not attacking her the way some of these idiots on the internet are talking about. This is the most vile thing I've ever seen in my life. I realize now as I look at it again, it's just an offhanded thing. He don't know about her history. He wasn't thinking about that. He was just making a funny joke in the moment. In the moment. Making a funny joke in the moment. That's it. That's it. And as you can see, Will Smith is laughing too because he knows. And Chris Rock is even like, what, guys? It's just a funny. It's like, all right, you guys didn't like that. Let's move on with our lives. They act like Chris Rock shit in his hand, walked over to her and rubbed it on her bald head. You old bald bitch. That's what people are acting like. Do you see how, like, nonsensical this is? This is nothing. That's a nothing joke. Nothing. It was, there's actually a thing going on the internet right now. Will Smith on the Arsenio Hall show, making a bald joke about somebody in the band. And then he even says, people go, ooh, and he goes, come on, y'all, it's just jokes. Look that up. Will Smith on Arsenio Hall making a bald joke. It's just a joke. Like, the way people are acting, they're acting like this guy was like, oh, like he knew in his head right then and there, oh, you know what, she got alopecia, so now I'm going to attack her. It was a small little throwaway thing that like we should have moved past like this. That's what we should have done, okay? Right? We should have moved past it like that, okay? Will Smith is laughing at it because he even knows, you're all right, your funny thing. You know, Jada says it and she's like, oh, here he go, talking about me again. I get her energy. Like, she's the butt of the joke. When you're the butt of the joke, you get slapped a little bit. It depends on how hard you get slapped is how we should react. This was nothing, y'all. This was nothing, okay? Chris Rock's reaction is like, what?
That was a nice one. Okay.
So now he thinks, all right, this is it. Let me move on, okay? I'm not even going to play any more audio from it. Chris Rock thinks, let's move on. And then now, here come Will Smith. He comes up and he just slaps him, right? And then walks away. What? If we can now, after 2 days, look at this and think to ourselves, that's why you slapped him? Wow. I mean, I'm speechless again now because at first my first instinct was like everything was scripted, and because I wasn't watching live, and like, oh, you know, and then he had this in as like, this is even worse. The fact that it was just a small, offhanded, like, I can't wait to see G.I. Jane. Just like, you know, you look at, you know what I mean? It's like, it's unusual to see a bald woman, you know? And Jada Pinkett Smith is pulling it off great, by the way. And it's just a thing. He didn't know about her thing. And I'm sure if he did, he wouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? It's like, this is ridiculous. So now Will Smith looks over, sees his wife, is like, oh, you don't really like this. And then whatever he's dealing with or going on, he feels like he needs to go up there, slap this guy, and then go, you know, say all this nonsense about keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. All right. Now, let's go into this. When you are a public figure, this ain't new at the Oscars is one of the things I'm saying. It's not new at the Oscars. And it's not new from Chris Rock. So you're at the Oscars. You know the comics are going to do the things that they do. It is what it is. It's part of the game, okay? All right? So now, this is the thing I want to go through, the different points that I keep seeing people make. The first point that I want to challenge, which I think is ridiculous, is this idea of people going, he's defending his woman. All right. And I've seen people say that. I was watching Breakfast Club and I heard women calling in, I need a man to defend me like that. That shit is nonsense. I don't want to be with a woman who would be okay with me, one, ruining the biggest night in my entertainment career, the crowning achievement of my entertainment career, winning an Oscar, okay? I wouldn't want a woman that would want me to do that for her because it's selfish. The people that say that, like, you making it about you. Ooh, I love when I want my man to embarrass himself and ruin the night for me. Me. Ruin the night for me. Embarrass yourself for me. Possibly go to jail for me. Tarnish this whole night for me. That's selfish. So, boom. I don't want to be with somebody like that. Rachel's always telling me, like, she's like, if I'm in the car and I get anger management, like yelling, she's like, hey, I don't like that. I don't want you to be like that. I don't want to be with somebody who's like that. I get that. She's trying to make me my best. I want someone who wants me to be at my best. Be your best. Be the best version of yourself. That's the kind of woman I want to be around and want to be with. Not somebody who's like, embarrass yourself for me. Do me. Make it all about me. So I challenge that. Now, this ain't even about it's not about defending your woman. It's about how, when, where. Again, as you see that joke, you replay that joke, that was nothing. Whoo, that was nothing. Are you kidding me? All right. If you really have a problem with this and you want to defend your woman, why ruin your night? Step to this dude backstage. Yo, man, didn't like that. And I feel like you always got a problem with my family. Can we talk about this? Because I don't appreciate it. Could have handled it that way. 2, he could have walked up there. He could have walked up there and made a joke. He could have walked up there and grabbed Chris Rock and been like, man, stop talking about my wife in a funny way, but at the same time giving him a little like, yo, dude, like enough of a like, hey, he could have handled it that way. He could have made fun of him while he was up there. All right? It's like there's so many different ways to handle this. He could have said, that's not funny, made a joke. Anything he could have said, he could have made light of the situation and still got his point across. He could have went to her and held her hand like, baby, it's okay. You know, he just joking. He could have consoled her, but no. He had to make a big ass spectacle. I don't mind Will Smith being in the moment of like, oh, this is funny, ha ha ha, and then looking over and being like, oh, you don't think this is funny? Oh, I'm sorry, baby. And then having a reaction. How he reacted is what we're talking about. There has to be a certain level of decorum. Has to be a certain level of this is how you act at the most prestigious event of the year. There's no justification for what this dude just did. None. If you're somebody that can look at that offhanded joke and think that this dude is attacking this woman's person because of that, is ridiculous. And even still, I'm okay with the dude stepping to him backstage and being like, yo, man, didn't like that joke. It's soft, but I understand. Now, I also understand the idea of, like I said earlier, yo, let's not trash these sensitive ass punks who are in the crowd anymore. Because that's what they are. They just sensitive ass little dukes and duchesses who think they're better than everybody. So they're thinking to themselves, yo, why you clowning me? And I get that. Because I would be the same way if I was in the crowd, right? I wouldn't be sensitive about some dumb little joke, but I could get the idea of being like, yo, come on, man, why you clowning me? All right? Okay. So I understand. But these people who are like, you know, you talk about my wife, I'm coming at you, like, you a little bitch if you feel like that. Like, really? You for that? Like, the way some people are talking about this, yo, man, they talk about your family. The way they talking about it, they acting like the dude was like, your wife ain't shit. You ain't shit. Your kids ain't shit. You know, like, they act like Chris Rock went to some classic Chris Rock rant where he's going off on people. That's not what happened. He was making fun of Will Smith and going, and he was like, Jada, I can't wait for G.I. Jane 2. And then the crowd had a reaction like, oh, come on. And he was like, all right, my bad. Even in the moment, Chris Rock was like, okay, it's just, all right. He thought to himself, okay, I misfired on that one. Let's move on with our lives. And he's even laughing, here comes Chris Rock. It's like, here comes Will Smith. And he's thinking to himself, never in a million years did Chris Rock think this dude was going to slap him and then curse in the middle of the Oscars. No way in a million years did any of us even think that. And that's why people are saying, like, it's fake. Let me just challenge this for a second. Guys, the idiots that think this is fake, let me ask you something. Tell me what Will Smith has to gain from this being, for doing this. Tell me. What does a dude with 30-something million followers on Instagram, probably $300 million in the bank, okay, have to gain? One of the most popular men on the planet. One of the most popular persons on the planet. What does he have to gain from doing this? What does he have to gain? Publicity? Are you kidding me? His Instagram is more popular than the Oscars. He gets more views on his things than most television shows. He has zero to gain by embarrassing himself on national TV. That, look at me. It is the stupidest thought you could possibly have. And if it was fake, that is the dumbest, like, whoever's behind that should be fired. It's not fake. This was not fake. This was not planned. There is absolutely zero for Will Smith to gain from this being fake. Okay, so can we just stop saying that? Okay, it's ridiculous, all right? All right, okay. Here's my other problem with what happened. First of all, Chris Rock is 57 years old. I did a video on Instagram, and his stats are probably better than I said. He probably like 5'10", 5'11", actually. He may be 140 pounds. 57-year-old man. He looked like a slight build. He just had rotator cuff surgery. I know this because I'm at the Comedy Store. You know, he'd been in a sling for 2 weeks. And Will Smith, who is like, look at his Instagram. The dude's always in shape. You know, he's an action star. So he trained in boxing and whatever it is. This dude's he's an intimidating person, right? He go up and slap you and then like and give it to Chris Rock, man. Dude handled the shit like a pro. Handled it like a G, man. Like a pro, professional. Took the slap and instantly stayed Chris Rock. Was like, you know, man, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me. He was in shock. Like, what? And then he thought to himself, man, he couldn't believe it. Trust me. And then he tried to be like, and this is what comics do. Like, I've been in situations where I've had a really bad heckler, and there's a time when you decide, well, let me change this energy to keep the show going. Chris Rock, the pro he is, was like, we are on national TV, and this is still the Oscars, and I'm about to give an award to my man. Questlove is about to get this award. He's thinking in his head maybe. You know, I don't even know, but he just wanted to keep the show going, and he did it. And my problem with it is nobody came out to help Chris Rock. Nobody. You know, Denzel and Bradley Cooper Bradley Cooper has a tear in his eye for Will. Oh, Will, you're going through so much for an offhanded, 2 or 3 line offhanded joke that like does not deserve all this nonsense about, oh, this was so vile. It was so vile. Hey, look up the word vile. And you think that was vile? You soft. Nobody was there for Chris Rock. No security came out. Nobody. None of those hosts, comics were like, yo, man, you okay? Nobody came to his aid. No producer came out. Nobody came out to be like, Mr. Rock, are you okay? Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Nobody. He was just there by himself. Like he was at a road gig and like there's no security at the club. And some dude in the crowd just came up and did some stuff. And now you out here on your own. And you just like, you like, damn, now I got to go to the hotel by myself. Nobody helped him. It's shameful, man. And then they sat there. Let me tell you something right now, y'all. Look at me. Chris Rock is a better man than me. I would have pulled my phone out and called the cops right there. I would have been a little bitch about it. Like, 911. Yeah, I just got smacked. Turn on channel 2. Just got smacked. I would have waited. Cops would have came. I would have stormed right back out. There he is right there. See him right there? The dude right there. Next to the bald lady? Him. Yeah, he got to go. I'm pressing charges right here. They should have escorted his ass out. That's my pettiness. Chris Rock was like, nah, I'm not even going to press charges. He's like, you know what? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Moved on with his life. Not me. I tell you right now, Chris Rock got something to lose. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel sometimes. You know, you out on the road, and then some people are always, like, talking their smack and being whatever. I'm like, forget y'all. I'm calling the authorities. What am I fighting for? I'm about to get married. I'm 50. What am I fighting for? I ain't gonna fight you. You know what I mean? Like, if that was me, I don't know if I would have just taken the slap. You know, Will Smith could probably beat my ass, but I would have got some hits in. I'll tell you that. I would have grabbed. You know what I'm saying? I would have tussled. We would have tussled. Bradley Cooper would have had to run and get us. You know what I mean? Denzel would have had to come get us because we would have been tussling. Like, what? I got glasses on, too. Slap me, Will. Slap me. I'm coming at you. I don't care what happens. He might knock me out. He might, I don't know. I'm 50. You think I'm a fighter? I'm a lover. You understand? I'm a funny man. I'm just a big guy. So I've never had to really be in like a lot of altercations because I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", 280-something pounds. If I've taken a few boxing classes, so I know how to give a swing. You don't want me to connect, whether I can fight or not. You don't want. There's no winners in a fight. Anyway, that's a whole other discussion. I'm just saying. So I'm just disgusted with the fact that Chris Rock was left to his own devices, just sat there, and no one did anything. No one talked about it. And then 10 minutes later, this dude is getting an award. Now, the moment Will Smith hit this dude and turned around and he had that look on his face like, yeah. What? And then he sat down and he had to double down. To me, I had to think that when he turned around, he had to realize, oh shit, I'm on the Oscars. What did I just do? And then he tripled down on it by keep my wife's name. All that nonsense, right? And then everybody in that room was probably like, oh good, finally the comedian is getting put in his place. Oh, finally the dude hired by the company to do what he's doing, he got put in his place. If you don't want a comic there, Hollywood stars, just say that to the Academy people. Why don't y'all get together and be like, hey, maybe we don't need comics no more, man. We don't need the comics to do that. How about if it's going to be a roast comic, they just write a script. Be like, here's the jokes I want to say about Will Smith. Here's the jokes I want to say about Jada Pinkett. And then give it to them. And they can read it and be like, okay, I'm okay with this. And then and then the show can go on. How about do that? Because even when Ellen was the host, you could see people just being like, oh my God, you know what I mean? People don't like being put on the spot. People don't like that. I get that energy, guys. I get it. Okay? I'm not sitting here saying comics should be allowed to say whatever they want. That ain't Chris Rock's show. That wasn't a Chris Rock special. It was just him having a moment, being a presenter, and they asked him to be funny. Just be funny, please. Do the thing that you do for 5 or 6 minutes, and then get out of there. And he did that. And then he was assaulted at work. If Amy Schumer had made the same joke and Will Smith, he wouldn't have smacked her. We know that. Imagine that. Imagine Will Smith go up and slaps Amy Schumer. Whoo! No. But even if he would have done this, even if he would have interrupted her from his seat, keep my wife's name, he would be vilified today. Vilified. This whole energy about protecting your wife, it wouldn't have gone the same way, y'all. All this energy, it would be a completely different energy if he had just yelled out at Amy Schumer. Even the other chick, not Regina King, who was the other host, she made a joke about their relationship. They could have easily been like, yo, keep our relationship out your mouth. They didn't do that. He felt in this moment. Now, the whole thing's a tragedy, man. It's a tragedy, all right? There's no winners. There's no winners in this. Will Smith, I feel for him. I honestly do. Because this man is like a beacon of hope for everyone. Not just black people, man. For everyone. He transcended color and race and became a superstar. From Bad Boys on to all the things that he did. He became an icon in our society. We see Will Smith and we think joy and happiness. And this motherfucker ruined it. He ruined it. There's a time and place, man. A time and place. That wasn't the time and it wasn't the place. Not at all. He did more damage to himself than anyone else. If you think he's a bigger man today, you're a fool. You're a fool if you're looking at Will Smith being like, I want to emulate that. No, thank you. Whatever demons and darkness that he was dealing with in that moment, it came out in that time, and Chris Rock got the brunt of it. It wasn't about that joke. It wasn't about that dumb, offhanded one-liner. Like, it was nothing. Off the cuff, nothing joke. And for it to get to the level of him having to stand up and go hit another human being, that is some other stuff going on with him. And I hope that finds whatever peace and harmony so he can get back to the person that we believe him to be. I mean, these people are public figures. You know, Will Smith and his wife, they out here in these streets with all their business out. So they've been dealing with all the jokes and all the stuff. That's on them. They wanted that smoke. You know, they wanted it. They're out here telling, yeah, we, open relationship, we doing this and that and all this stuff. And then, like, jokes come with that, man. That's what happens. That's the business of it. But I have to say again, this small joke, this small off-the-cuff thing that he said was not with any sort of malicious intent. It wasn't malicious. It wasn't like he was trying to it was just, it's just like, you see a bald woman and you making a joke as a comic. You just being like, you know what I mean? That's all that it was. He don't know all the things she's dealing with that. And so you as a person need to know that. I'm going to tell you a story, personal story. And I told this I was just on About Last Night, Adam Ray's podcast. But this is my podcast, so I'm going to tell you a story. I was at the Laugh Factory one night. And I used to have this joke, and I still do it sometimes. It's a joke about, like, these crazy, because it's about gun control and stuff, but there's a point in where I'm talking about, there's this guy who, like, he was in Santa Barbara, and, like, he was getting rejected by women, and he, got a gun and shot people up. So I'm talking about it, and I'm like, damn, this guy was rejected by women. And I'm like, you know what? I, too, have been rejected by women, but I've never thought I need to kill these bitches. That's never been my thought. My always thought was like, you're supposed to, as a man, when you get rejected, you know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to prove them wrong. You start working out, you get a better job, you improve your life so you can show these women that rejected you, look what you're missing out on. This is the sentiment of the joke, what I'm talking about. And then I'm saying to you, like, so I'm like, man, they rejected this dude. So all you women that rejected that guy and reject guys like that, excellent choice. Because obviously something's up with this dude. That's basically the sentiment of the joke. All right. Anyway, I'm at the Laugh Factory one night and I'm doing this. And as I get off stage, one of the waitresses comes up to me. She's like, Erik, you're doing this joke. There was a girl in the bathroom and she was crying. Turns out there was a girl that just happened to be in the crowd that night who went to UC Santa Barbara and was a part of that situation. Maybe knew one of the girls. I don't know the whole story behind her, but she was upset about me talking about this. But you know how she handled it? She got up and she went to the bathroom and she handled it because it was a her issue. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm just saying I appreciate that this woman and I am sorry that it affected her in the way that it affected her because it was personal to her. So she took her personal business and she removed herself from a situation of a group of people who were enjoying themselves and don't know. And they got up and she left the room. As opposed to her standing up in the middle of the show going, this isn't funny, oh, blah, blah, blah. It's like, who's that for? You know what I mean? Because I don't know. What I have a point to why I'm talking about this. I have a point that I'm trying to make that I believe is valid. And she had some personal things going on that it affected her. So what she did was she removed herself from the situation. That's my point about this. How the hell is Chris Rock supposed to know that in this moment, this woman who looks glamorous and dressed up and out on the town with the Oscars with her husband who's laughing and everybody's having a good time, that this little offhanded joke, he don't know. You come tell him later, yo, man, my wife actually got alopecia and that's why she bald. And he might be like, oh, shit, my bad. You ever think that that could be a possibility too? But no, y'all want to attack comedy. Comedy is not for the weak. And there's going to be times where you're going to touch on personal things with people. But just because I don't care about what you care about at the same level you care about it, it doesn't make me a monster. It's just not personal to me the way it is to you. What are comics supposed to do at shows now? Pass out surveys? We're supposed to be like, all right, tell me all the things in everyone's life in this crowd that you would like not for me to talk about so you don't get your feelings hurt. And then so let me look at the surveys and figure out what I can talk about so everybody in the room is happy. Take some personal responsibility for your own feelings, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a show. You know what I'm saying? The Oscars is just a show. It's for entertainment. It's supposed to be lighthearted and fun. In this particular joke, that's all it was. The man wasn't coming from some malicious place. He didn't even say it maliciously. He was just like, you know, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. It was just a fun little moment. And if you think that that was to rise to the level where you think, oh, you can't go after someone's family. If that's going after someone's family, man, whew, I don't know what you're going to do when you really out here in these streets. I don't know what you're going to do when you out here and somebody really come at you, because you're going to get into a rude awakening. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, it was corny. Somebody's like, Chris Rock is corny. It was a corny joke. That's what I'm saying. Which is more reason to be like, listen, if it was planned out and he was going in and you could tell that it was scripted, that might come across as, man, this dude's being mean-spirited about that. Making an offhanded, corny joke like a dad, it was a dad joke. It was just a stupid dad joke. You gonna slap your dad every time your dad make a dumb dad joke? No, you just go, come on, man. And that's how the crowd reacted. The crowd was like, boo, Chris, that was stupid. And he went, come on, you know, he was like, I'm just joking. And then it turned into what it turned into. Come on, y'all. Come on, what are we doing? Come on, what are we doing as a society, man? What are we doing? Look at yourself. Come on. Come on, don't fight just to fight. Let's use some common sense, man. Like, in your heart of hearts, do you really think Chris Rock was trying to attack her alopecia? Really? You really think that? You really think that what Will Smith did was justified in that moment? Not only did he ruin his night, he ruined the glory of the movie, the Williams family. That we're not talking about them. We ain't talking about them. We don't even care. We don't even care about King Richard. This didn't help the Oscars. They just didn't do anything. But it didn't do anything but, like, it was just a dark day. And on top of that, two black men, like, Chris Rock is Hall of Fame comic. Mount Rushmore comic. Chris Rock is in the top 4 comics of all time. You hear what I'm saying? That's where that dude is. You can have a Jordan LeBron argument with Chris Rock and whoever else you want to put on the table. And he out there, just no respect, no help for the man. Just left him there to get assaulted, and nobody cares. Nobody cared that night. It's crazy. It's crazy. And for Will Smith, like I said earlier, this man who is just a giant in our society, who transcended race and color, and even on with his Instagram, he doesn't come across as a rich, spoiled, like he's like an everyman. And you had kids watching this show, children. It's a family show. Now people are out here having to explain to their children about, is violence the way? There's so many implications of what he did. If you're sitting there watching me right now thinking, if you have this Neanderthal thought process of like, you got to defend your family, that ain't the way to do it, man. There's so many different ways to defend your family. And by the way, you can't let words be the thing that gets you. You just can't. People aren't that important. Didn't we learn that from COVID? Didn't we learn that our life is just so much more important than all this crap? You know what I mean? Love, honor each other, be nice to each other. We're trying to do that. And I know that comedy isn't always that, but you have to know that it still comes from a place of, it comes from a place of fun. Even the pain that comedians feel that we trying to bring out, we're trying to make fun of situations and show different perspectives. And what we do is when we see those different perspectives, we laugh. That's the point of it. That's the point of it. Anyways, y'all, you guys got me so heated today that I didn't even do my mid-roll commercials. So let me just do. I know this is crazy, but I got to do my commercials for the end right now, or these people are going to be like, yeah, do the commercials. All right. So let me do my commercials right now. Then we'll end it off. All right. But guys, Doordash. I use Doordash all the time, and I love Doordash. You get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on your first orders of $15 or more when you download the Doordash app and enter the code. What I like about Doordash is you can get groceries, you can get all kinds of stuff from Doordash. The best part of ordering is, you don't got to have pants on. How about that? The Doordash app is so easy to use. It arrives for you quickly, and then by the time the food comes, you've spent time with your family and friends, or even if you just want to be by yourself and you don't want to go out into public. You know what I mean? So with over 300,000 partners, you can support your neighborhood, go to, or choose from your favorite national restaurants like Popeyes, Chipotle, and Cheesecake Factory. Ordering is easy, and your items will be left safely outside your door when you choose Contact Us Delivery. For a limited time, our listeners get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code Griffin. That's 25% off, up to $10 value, and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code Griffin. Don't forget, that's code Griffin. 25% off your first order at DoorDash. Subjects change. Terms apply. All right, guys, I'm also talking about Coinbase, which I use. I first started using Coinbase when I remember that when Bitcoin went crazy like a few years ago. Me and Rick Glassman were in a hotel, and we were just like, oh, my God, Litecoin was blowing up. So I love using Coinbase, and they are a proud sponsor of the show. And cryptocurrency might feel like a secret or an exclusive club, but Coinbase believes that everyone everywhere should be able to get in the door. Whether you've been trading for years or just getting started, Coinbase can help. If you've been looking up your financial portfolio and you're looking to spice it up a little bit, it's always good to diversify with not thinking about cryptocurrency. It's backed up by the world's leading investors. Coinbase keeps your portfolio safe and secure while adding crypto into your mix. Coinbase offers a trusted and easy-to-use platform to buy, sell, and spend cryptocurrency. For a limited time, new users get $10 in free Bitcoin when you sign up for it today. Coinbase at Riffin Griffin. Coinbase.com, Riffin Griffin. Sign up at Coinbase.com, Riffin Griffin for $10 in free Bitcoin. The offer is for limited time only, so be sure to sign up today. That's Coinbase.com, Riffin Griffin. All right, I got obligations. I got to pay the bills. So it is what it is. Okay, guys. Man. That was something. That was something. I got to get I'm still a one-man show, so I got to get my cord out, plug my cord in, turn up the music. Anyways, like I'm saying, just in closing about this situation, okay, this was blown way out of proportion. And just please try to take a step back. Look at the situation and just kind of be like, man, it's shameful on all parts. You know what I'm saying? I understand all the sides. For people that are like, hey, man, just do your script. Let's be nice. Just be nice so people can get their awards and have a good time. If you're one of those people that feel that way, I agree with you. All right? The other side of it is like people who are like, oh, man, that was like, she obviously didn't like that, and that sucks. Okay, it sucks. It was so offhand. It was so small in the grand scheme of things. But there's no justification for violence against another person. And on top of that, the time, place, location was completely, Will Smith was so out of pocket. And by the way, he felt so too. That's why he apologized. Okay? So for all you people who are in chat or even watching this right now with this attitude of like, well, you got to defend your family, all that kind of stuff, he don't even think that. He knows he embarrassed himself. The next day, he probably was like, oh, my God, the Williams family embarrassed. His wife is embarrassed. I hope she was embarrassed. I'm sure she was embarrassed. Everyone was embarrassed. It was an embarrassing, shameful situation that should not have gone that way. There's no way. And for you people that like, so many people like, well, comics, you got to like take, you say stuff like that, that's going to happen. Man. If you're going to hit a comic for saying something like that, then you need to just rush the stage every time because that was nothing. There's far worse. And you just don't go to comedy shows. Let me just public service announcement to people out here who have a problem with comedy. Don't go to comedy shows. All right? Just don't. If you're someone that is like, you think that, don't say anything about anyone. You want victimless comedy. Just don't go to comedy shows. There are other people that love comedy shows. That's why comedians, they're on podcasts and they're making on the road, selling out arenas and they're doing tours, selling out clubs, traveling and doing that stuff because there are people out there who appreciate it and we appreciate you. For the rest of you that have an issue with that kind of stuff, just stay away from comics. You see them on the internet, turn it off. Move on. It's not for you. Anyways, I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks for being here. I appreciate all the comments and everything that you guys had to say. Tough situation. I feel for everybody involved. I wish the best for Will Smith. I wish the best for Chris Rock, Jada Smith, the Williams family. I hope the Oscars, there should be a punishment. I don't know what that is. I don't necessarily think they should take his Oscar away, but he might need to be banned for life or 10 years or something where you can't come back. You have to have a deterrent. You can't just have people slapping somebody in the face live on TV. You can't have that. But anyways, thanks for being here. This is Erik Griffin. I really appreciate you. And this has been The Pursuit of Slappiness, Slapgate 2022 Oscars. And this is Erik Griffin. This has been Riffin with Griffin. And thank you for being here. I'll see you next week.